I remember for the longest time, people were always telling me, Antonia, why are you so calm? So check it out. I remember when I was a corporate lawyer, I'd be sharing an office with other lawyers and they'll be stressed out, on edge, freaking out, cursing and muttering under their breath, all kinds of swear words. And they'd look at me and think, hey, Antonia, how are you doing it? How are you so calm? And so there's a few secrets I want to share with you today. The first secret is that even though in those times I may have looked calm, underneath the surface, I was not calm at all. There was anger, resentment, frustration boiling up on the inside, but I was pushing it down and pretending like everything was okay because I wanted to do a good job, I wanted to be professional. And so it created this deep inner conflict inside of me. It was draining my energy, burning me out. So we do not want to take that approach. Now, we definitely don't want to be suppressing, like what I've just explained, pushing down the emotions, because when we are doing that, we are pushing down all of this negative emotion and energy. It starts eating away at us, and we're struggling, suffering on the inside. Now, on the flip side, we don't want to be expressing too much either. Now, obviously, some level of expression is better than just pushing it all down. But when you are angry and frustrated and you're letting that out on the people around you, obviously that creates a negative impact as well. When you let some negative energy out, you're going to be feeling this backlash of guilt, frustration, and disappointment in yourself that you let yourself slip. Also, the people around you are going to be picking up on that negativity that you've just shared with them as well. So we do not want to take these approaches. Now, instead, what I practice is to choose actively my inner peace. For me, if something is not worth me losing my inner peace over, then it's not a big deal. I let it go. I forget about it. And that's how I create this pattern, this habit, this default state of inner peace throughout my day, this calmness that stays with me. No matter what triggers come that day, big or small, I'm able to process it and maintain that peaceful state and outlook. And being able to practice that, it requires a deep level of self-love. It's saying, I am so much more worthy of feeling peaceful, of feeling happy today than letting this thing get in my way and ruin my day. And so I invite you to make this your mantra for today. Just try it out. It is not worth me losing my inner peace. Today I choose inner peace. Try it out and see what happens in your day today. Now, the other secret that's important to mention is that I am deeply committed to processing my emotions, to my emotional health, so that I can have emotional fitness. And that means on a daily, consistent basis, making sure that I am processing my emotions, I'm healing my emotions, I'm healing my energy. And I do that as a consistent daily practice. And if there's anything going on in my life which is very emotionally disturbing or emotionally taxing, I'm going to be doing additional inner work to really make sure I'm processing that and looking after my inner emotional world. And that is how I've been able to reach these states of real peace and real bliss in my life. It's not false, it's not just pretending like everything's okay, but on the inside feeling really bad, like the old Antonia did. It's actually learning how to find that peace within myself. So let me share with you something. This right here is what I call the layers of emotion. And these, very simplified, are the emotions that us humans feel as we go throughout our life, maybe even on a daily basis. And most people are living in that bracket which says fear. They're living in survival mode. They're living in negative energy. And there's a lot of people also in that angry level, in that grieving level, in the guilt and in the shame, in the apathy. This is unfortunately where around 70 to 80% of the population are living their lives day by day. So instead, if you don't want to be feeling all of those negative emotions in the red zone, the negative states, which is negative energy, and maybe instead you want to start feeling peace, bliss, love, and purpose in your life, then you need to do that inner work to heal. And this is what I do with my clients. I actually take them through this system of emotional healing, emotional letting go and maintaining emotional balance. So they let go of the layers of emotions that were weighing them down before and keeping them stuck in these more negative states. And when they do that emotional healing, they automatically start getting lighter, they start getting brighter and feeling more joy in their lives. And eventually, they can actually change their emotional home from being from that red zone to being somewhere at the top, being in a state of purpose, being in a state of feeling at peace within themselves, and feeling more love, bliss, and joy in their lives. And again, wanting to get there, it requires a deep self love, knowing that you are worthy of experiencing more joy in your life, of experiencing these more elevated states. Now, obviously, as humans, we were put here to experience all of life's challenges and all of the emotional spectrum. Of course, at some point in our lives, we're going to be feeling all of those emotions. But we have a choice. We have a choice about whether we are going to settle in a negative state because that's the circumstances that we are in, or maybe there was some kind of trauma or heartbreak or something didn't go right in your life. If you get stuck in that negative emotion, you have a choice. You have a choice to stay the same, to stay down there in the red zone, or you have a choice to wake up, to do that emotional healing and start to change your emotional experience and therefore your experience of your life. Now, the interesting thing about the layers of emotions and about the layers of your energy is that it also represents your consciousness. It's how you perceive the world. So if you are down there in the red zone looking through the world from a place of fear, that is going to limit your experiences throughout your life. And you're always going to be chasing and looking for some level of happiness and excitement or joy in your life. That is why people get stuck between those two layers, fear and desire. I call it, getting stuck and dancing between those layers, because you're feeling the fear, you're feeling like something is missing in your life, you're afraid of the future, and you're desiring security, you're desiring something better to experience in your life. The only way to break that pattern of getting stuck between the fear and the desire is to actually heal those emotional wounds which are creating these fears in the first place. And then you start automatically rising up the layers. The desire, it naturally starts to transmute into a feeling of wholeness, into a feeling of gratitude, because instead of really desiring something but being too afraid to go out there and get it, or sabotaging yourself, or just choosing to stay stuck, you actually make a change in your life because you're feeling you are worthy of it. And naturally then you feel whole, complete, grateful. It has to come within first. You have to change that emotional state within yourself. And when you create that reality in your environment, then that signals back to you and affirms back to you what it is you're feeling on the inside. So many people make the mistake of chasing the dream job, or chasing trying to find their purpose, or chasing trying to find their soulmate, or trying to change their weight in their body, and they're looking on the outside. But actually what they are really desiring is the emotional fulfillment that that thing on the outside would give them. So the hack is to change on the inside emotionally first, create what experience that you desire in your life, and it's going to come to you much easier, and it's going to be a much fulfilling process on the way. Because instead of feeling empty and like you're missing something and you're desiring something, but there's fear and all of these other negative emotions getting in the way, you get to feel grateful. You get to feel whole on your journey to achieving those things that you want to achieve in your life. So remember, it's not just about the end goal, it's the journey as well. And I'm telling you that you get to be happy, you get to feel peaceful, you get to feel whole, complete, and grateful while you're on that journey. You're not supposed to be feeling like something's missing and feeling miserable, waiting and waiting and waiting for something to change in your external environment. When we're playing that game, it's a game for suffering because you're always waiting. So this is really how I've been able to make me the calmest version of me. It's doing that emotional healing, actually changing my emotional infrastructure so I can feel more of these elevated emotions. And I make that part of my daily practice, practicing feeling the way that I want to feel and intentionally making choices that allow me to feel the way that I want to feel in my life. And it's the most beautiful thing in the work that I do. I help women to also cross that river of transformation for themselves as well. So they also get to feel that peace, they get to feel that purpose and joy in their life. And things start changing in their lives very quickly. They've changed their emotional state, they've changed their energy, and they change what they are creating, what they are attracting to them in their life. And that is so beautiful. So I've seen that when I've changed myself and become the most calm version of myself. Oh, there's a fly. That's the problem of doing videos outside in the open jungle. Now I've seen that when I've become the calmest version of myself, that's been reflected in all areas of my life, in my work, in my business, in my relationships, in my family life, in my health and my well-being, in my fitness, in my passions, in my purpose. Literally in every single area of my life, it has gotten better, and I have a more calm and more fulfilling experience in each of those areas. And I also start attracting these more elevated states, and the people that I attract in terms of who I'd like to hang out with, it's also on a more elevated state as well. So it's definitely worth doing that internal work to become the most calm version of you, because when you do that, you'll experience the up level on all areas of your life. It's like a beautiful ripple effect, creating more positive energy, more positive change in your life. Another big lesson that I have learned is to trust, is to surrender, is to not take my life so seriously. Because the truth is, when we have to remember that we are one of 8 billion people on this earth. And there are people out there on this planet right now who will have it way worse than you do. Whatever challenge you are going through in your life right now, there are people out there struggling and suffering even more. Now, when I remember that, it immediately takes me out of my head and brings me back into the present, remembering actually how blessed I am. It helps to put things into perspective. And it's crazy when you really think about it. Okay, 8 billion people on this planet. Now, we are one planet, planet Earth, in this solar system, in this galaxy. Now, there are like hundreds of billions of galaxies out there in the universe. Hundreds of billions of galaxies in the universe. That really puts things into perspective. Like, we are one tiny, tiny, tiny piece of the universe. And we shouldn't have to worry. We shouldn't have to stress so much because, the universe is out there doing its thing. The sun is going to rise, the planets are going to be rotating, the universe is just doing its thing, and you are a part of that. So trust and surrender in that divine plan, in the universal plan, in God's plan, whatever you believe in. Remember to trust and surrender and not to try to overthink it or try to overcomplicate or overstress in your life. You are put here for a purpose, and part of that purpose is to feel good in your life. So don't make things more complicated by overstressing, by getting stuck in your head and getting triggered over the small stuff. Let's just relax, take a deep breath, and trust and surrender. So I hope this video helped you today. I look forward to hearing how it made you more calm today. Please do share in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Please like and subscribe, and I'm sending you a beautiful and calm day ahead. Lots of love. See you soon.